In this video, we will show you how to replace your front parking assist sensor on this Jeep Grand Cherokee. This will be mounted to the inside of your front bumper cover. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Up along the top of the front bumper cover, you're going to find two push clips, but we're going to save those for last. To start removing the bumper cover, let's make our way under the vehicle. Now from underneath the vehicle, we're going to remove 4 push clips that make their way across the center. Push clips come in all different shapes and sizes. For these ones in particular, you want to carefully press in on the center. That'll unlock it, and then you can pull it out of place by removing the outer portion as well. Other push clips, you can remove the center to unlock it, and then you remove the outer portion. Either way, once you have it out, a quick inspection makes sure it's reusable. We'll repeat the process down the line. Now as we make our way towards either side, you're going to find that you have a plastic clip. We'll turn that just enough that it becomes unlocked. Remove it from the fender liner and bumper cover. Let's continue following that fender liner and bumper cover to where they connect inside the wheel well. Now along each side of the bumper cover, we can start removing those plastic rivets. To remove these, you can either grind them off, cut them off, or just go ahead and drill out the center and remove the outer portion as well. Just going to hold the outer portion still. There's what's left of that. Just clean out our mounting port there. Continue on doing the same thing for the next one. Now that we have those out of there, if you were to continue up a little bit further towards the corner of the bumper cover where it meets your fender, you're going to find a 10mm headed bolt. We'll remove that. Once you have the bolt out of there, the next thing we'll do is take hold of the bumper cover. We're going to have to lightly tug it down and away from the vehicle, separating it from along the fender. Now let's have a quick peek inside this area. We're looking for the fog lamp assembly. Go ahead and disconnect the fog lamp assembly wiring harness or remove the bulb from the area. I'm just going to go ahead and twist the bulb. We'll remove it and give it a close inspection. Make sure it is still reusable. This one looks fine. We'll carefully set it aside so it does not cause any damage to the bulb. At this point, we're done on this side of the vehicle. Let's go over to the other side of the vehicle and repeat the process by removing the inside fender liner, the mounting bolt, the fog lamp harness, and separating the bumper cover from the fender. Now over on the passenger side, we repeated the same process, but there's one other thing on the passenger side you need to pay attention to. You're going to find that you have a wiring harness, and this wiring harness leads to each one of the parking sensors across your bumper cover. In order to disconnect all of those and remove the bumper cover from the area, we're going to disconnect this electrical connector. For this connector, you can see it has a red locking tab. We'll just carefully pry that towards the outer aspect here. We can squeeze in and disconnect this. To do this, you can use a small screwdriver, small pick, whatever you have. Just go ahead and grab hold of that. Slide it, squeeze it, pull it out of position. A quick inspection on both ends for corrosion, of course. Assuming those look good, you can continue on. Let's make our way back up into the engine compartment. We have 2 more push clips to remove from along the top center. One over on the driver's side and one in the same place over on the passenger side. Once we've removed those, take hold of the bumper cover, we'll give it a little wiggle and remove it from the vehicle. For the push clips, just go ahead and pull out the center. As always here, that's going to unlock it. Quick inspection, move along. Now you should be able to take hold of the bumper cover. We're going to carefully start lifting it up. You can hear it unclick. we are. Now we can start holding on along the sides. We're going to separate it along the headlamp. There we are. Carefully remove your front bumper cover. Once you have the bumper cover off, put it on a flat pad, something soft so you don't cause any damage, and we're going to have a look along the back side. In this area is where you can find each of your parking sensors. You have 3 along each side of the bumper cover. Now, as I said, to gain access to either of the outer 2 ones on either side of the bumper cover, typically you can just reach through the fender well. The inboard ones are going to be the ones that are the hardest to gain access to. The process of removing them is the exact same thing at this point in time. To do this, go ahead and grab onto that locking tab. You can see right where my thumb is. We'll squeeze that in and dislodge this wiring harness. If it does not want to come off of there, just reach in along the backside with a small screwdriver or pick, gently pry, and pull this out of position. Just a quick inspection for corrosion, of course. We'll set that wiring aside. The parking sensor is held in place to the front bumper cover with 2 locking tabs. Continue on with your small pick or small screwdriver. Gently pry those tabs away while pulling the sensor out and away from the bumper cover. There it is, friend. Let's have a quick look at the original parking sensor in comparison to the brand new one. On the original, you can see that it does have a gasket, and that's very important. In your kit for your brand new parking sensor, it came with several different gaskets. Find the one that fits perfectly and matches up with the original, install it onto your brand new parking sensor. On my application, it's the one that has the wide base and the thin upper portion. The upper portion is the area that's going to fit right through that bumper cover, so it needs to match up perfectly. Let's prepare to install that brand new parking sensor. For this, you just want to align it into the proper orientation so your wiring harness will be facing in the proper direction. We'll press it in and listen for a click from each of the 2 locking tabs. There's one. We'll squeeze that other one in there. Take hold of the parking sensor. Try to give it a tug away from the bumper cover. If it slides out and away, it's not locked in. If it doesn't, it's locked in perfectly, and we'll continue on with our electrical connector. To connect your electrical connector, just go ahead and align it. Make sure the locking tab's facing towards you, and we'll press this in. Once you hear a click, once again, a light tug here. We want to make sure the wiring harness is properly secured. As I mentioned, the process for one is the exact same thing as all others. Once you've completed that, we can reinstall the bumper cover. Now we can reinstall our bumper cover. As we bring this into position, we're going to be paying attention along the center as well as the sides. With it in position, we'll continue on with our push clip, drive in the outer portion, lock it down with the center. After completing the center, along each side, we're going to be bringing the bumper cover directly underneath your headlamp assembly and along this area of the fender. Obviously, we're being very careful for the headlamp assembly and the paint on the fender. Just tap this into place. Repeat the process on the other side. Once you have the bumper in place, we'll continue on with our fog lamp on the driver's side. Just get this lined up, turn it clockwise to lock it in. Now we can put in our fender liner. That's going to go in and behind the bumper cover. Continuing from here, we have a 10mm headed bolt that goes up in this corner, and then we're going to have push clips that make their way down along the bumper cover and fender liner. Time for the push clips. Once we've made sure that this is secure along the driver's side, we'll make our way over to the passenger side. On the passenger side, not only do you have your fog lamp bulb, but we also have the electrical connector for each one of our parking sensors. Let's start with the fog lamp. Now it's time for the electrical connector. That's going to go right up into this area. We'll press it in. Listen for a click from that. Give it a tug, make sure it's secure, lock it in with your red tab. After confirming everything's secure behind there, it's time for our fender liner on the passenger side. We're just going to tuck it in. We have the mounting bolt up here and then our 2 push clips making its way down. Now that we have the bolt in, we can do our 2 push clips. Press them in, lock them in with the center. Now on each side under the front bumper, we're going to reattach our plastic clips. Those have to go from the fender liner into the bumper cover. We can get these properly aligned, just press them in. Once you feel as though you have it lined up, turn it a quarter turn to lock it in. After completing both sides, we'll meet in the center. We have 4 areas for push clips. You want to push up on the bumper cover. Just above that area is some plastic brackets. We need to align it, and then you can put in your push clip. When installing the push clips, you know exactly what to do. Press in the outer portion, lock it in with the center. Continue down the line for all 4 of these lower push clips. Double check, make sure that's completely secured. Okay friend, we showed you the installation for your parking assist sensors. At this point, you want to make sure you test the functionality by carefully pulling up close to something and ensuring that they work as they should. Aside from that, thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.